Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Ashley Van Dyke with Advantage Software, and on today's video, Getting to Know Eclipse Part 14, Virtual Realtime, I'm going to show you how Virtual Realtime works and what circumstances you might want to give it a try. Virtual Realtime is mostly a troubleshooting tool. This isn't a process that you would use to actually produce a job in real time. However, you can use it to reproduce real-time scenarios, to either identify problems, or test out new settings. There are some processes that do not happen during normal QuickTran or Tran and Edit translations, such as macro operations and autobrief generation, that you might want to see again using virtual realtime. Virtual realtime in Eclipse will allow you to replay a file as if you're writing it without actually having to restroke it. This can be very useful if you're trying to troubleshoot problems, test changes to your settings, or if you want to investigate in depth how translation is happening. Virtual realtime also allows you to easily test your outputs. Virtual realtime will allow you to output to any output that you can output during regular real time, such as Bridge Mobile, the cart window, closed captioning. And you can also use virtual realtime to share documents for team editing over the Connection Magic server. So virtual realtime gives you an opportunity to test in a real-time-like scenario to ensure that everything is working as you expect it to. You might want to do this when you get a new computer and you've set it up to ensure that all of your dictionaries, your settings, and your outputs are functioning the way that you expect them to, without having to actually write anything. This also allows you to set up a team editing test scenario without the reporter having to actively write during the scenario. This gives your team ample opportunity to discuss how it works if you're new to the system or if you're bringing on a new team member. In tech support, we frequently use virtual realtime for troubleshooting, but as an end user, there are other reasons that you might want to employ virtual realtime, like I've previously described. It allows you to test many different functions in Eclipse without actually having to bust out your writer and write for perhaps hours on end, depending on what kind of tests or verifications you're looking to perform, or what kind of opportunity for practice you want to provide your team members for team editing. Virtual real-timing a file is incredibly easy. Like all other forms of translation in Eclipse, it begins by going to Translate Notes, which you can access under Production, Translate, by clicking Translate or hitting Alt-T. In the Translate Notes window, one of the translation modes available is Virtual Realtime. I'm going to select Virtual Realtime, and I can ensure that all of my other settings for the real-time job that I would like to imitate are set. For instance, if I go to my user settings, to my real-time tab, I have a cart window output format. And this cart window will work with the virtual realtime and I'll see my output on it. Additionally, I can test things like initial or final block, or I can share my document with Connection Magic. Whatever real-time functions you need to test, you can test during virtual realtime. I'm going to click the Notes button and select the note file that I'd like to virtual realtime. If you've already translated the file, you may want to click Text and type in a new virtual realtime name for that file. If you don't do this, when you begin translation, you'll be prompted to either retranslate or append the new translation to your file. If you don't wish to do either of those things, you want to click the text button and give your file a new name before you click OK. So I've done that, and so when I translate this file, I'll still have my original sample note file ECL file, but I'll also have this new virtual realtime ECL file. I'll press OK. My virtual realtime file has opened up, as has my cart window and my team editing session settings window. I'm going to type in a password and hit OK for my scopist. And now I have the opportunity to send strokes through to the system through virtual realtime. There's two ways to do this. You have to use the virtual realtime control box in order to send strokes, and you can unpause and let Eclipse process the strokes. Or you can press next stroke and process the strokes one at a time. Which you do may depend on what you're trying to accomplish. If you want to see how particular instances in your document are translating after you've changed settings, or you want to see exactly how your auto briefs are being generated for a section of a note file, you might want to use the Next Stroke button. But if you're testing something like team editing or an output like Bridge Mobile or closed captioning, you may want to simply uncheck pause and let Eclipse pump the strokes out for you. If you do that, especially in a team editing scenario, that leaves the reporter free to collaborate with the team and ensure that everyone is on the same page and understands the team editing system. And you see that everything that I've written in this virtual real-time file has come out in the cart window. And additionally, you see that my auto briefs are being generated. Any function that works in real time will work in virtual real time. The only thing you can't do is you can't change what was written. However, you can reprocess it exactly the same way it was originally processed or with new settings that you've applied. So if you've changed your auto brief settings to get more or fewer auto briefs or to exclude some words, then you can rerun virtual real time and see exactly which auto briefs are generated and when in the document. Or if you've made adjustments to your translation magic settings and you'd like to see how it applied to a specific job, you can run virtual real time and you can read along with the file at your pace to check each translation you have questions about. If I uncheck pause and allow virtual real time to run through the end of the note file, it will just translate the entire file. And at this point, the file will be like any other file that I've written, and I can edit it. And if audio existed for the original file and the names are appropriate for audio sync, then the audio sync will work as well. We haven't done anything to actually change the nature of the notes, the time codes, or the syncing. The only thing that I did in this example was give this file a new name. And so if I did want to use the original audio for this file, I just need to make sure that the naming was matched. I'll go ahead and let the system virtual real time until the end of this note file. Eclipse reached the end of the file. I was able to press OK to translation complete. And now I have a normal ECL file. Virtual real time is a great tool for testing things that can only be tested in real time. If you wanted to test your translation magic settings only, you could use QuickTran or Tran and Edit to do that. However, in order to see your auto briefs generated as they are in the job, or to see how macros execute as they do in a job, you would need to use virtual real time in order to make that happen, unless you break out your steno machine and actually write those strokes again manually. Virtual real time is an incredible tool, and it can help you modify your settings and test those settings in an easy way, or help you and your team test with things like Connection Magic or Bridge Mobile. If you have new clients that are coming on that are going to use Bridge Mobile, the cart window, or some form of captioning, you can use virtual real time to send test text through that output while you're communicating with them to make any other arrangements that are necessary. That way you can focus on the business end of your transaction, but still ensure that your test is going and they are getting great looking text on the output. The only thing to remember with virtual real time, when you do translate an existing file, if there's an existing ECL file with the same name, it will prompt you to either append or retranslate that file if you don't change the name. And so if you do not wish to overwrite any of your files, what you want to do is click this text button and type in a new file name. That way, this new file name will be created with the new translation results, and your original translation results will remain untouched. And of course, this is true of any translation method, not just virtual real time. Thank you for watching this video. As a reminder, Advantage Software offers anytime support 24/7. Tech support can be reached anytime, including weekends and holidays, at 772-288-3266. Email support is also available at support@eclipsecat.com. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when we publish new content in the future. Thanks so much and have a great day.